Hello, my name is Clare Mullen and I'm here today from the Weight Issues Network. It's really quite fitting that the topic for this year is changing perspectives. Let's talk about obesity. Because at Weight Issues Network, we have indeed been talking about obesity a fair bit over the last year. On this slide are just some of the images of how members of the Weight Issues Network team have been getting the word out and talking about obesity and being part of efforts to change perspectives. This year, or in the last 12 months in October, we joined many of the people here today at the International Congress on Obesity in Melbourne, where a number of WIN lived experience speakers spoke on panels and in plenary sessions, and we also ran a workshop focusing on engaging people with lived experience in research. The other items that you can see are some news items, and it's been really heartening to see the level of interest from some of Australia's biggest media outlets in having a really nuanced discussion about obesity. And what has been great is that the team at the Obesity Collective have, when approached, always encouraged the journalists to reach out to the Weight Issues Network and connect the journalists with people with lived experience so they can really get that perspective. So earlier this year, we saw an article in the Weekend Australian where there was another article prompted by Taryn Brumfitt's appointment as Australian of the Year in the Sydney Morning Herald and the Age. And one of our membership also took part in a programme on ABC 7:30. So I think it's fair to say that members of the Weight Issues Network are both really interested and also doing their bit to change perspectives, but there's so much more still to do. This week, on Zero Discrimination Day, on the 1st of March, we held a WIN community conversation, giving people who are impacted by weight issues the opportunity to talk about obesity. And when we went round and heard from the people who were there that evening, the discussion and the things that people wanted to talk about fell into three main categories there on the screen: advocacy, information, and support. And those are some of the comments there that people shared on the evening. There was a real note of the importance of advocacy and also the importance of looking after people who are involved in advocacy in this space. There is the information about making sure that both in the public there is better information and more is understood about the science of obesity, but particularly also so that people impacted by weight issues have better access to evidence-based information about treatments that are effective and where people can really make their informed choices. For example, a comment from someone who said, if I'd known about other options, treatment options that were available, I might have made a different choice. And the important thing about people being fully informed and supported to understand both issues about the effectiveness and potential risk of any treatment options. But when we were asked to choose a topic from these three, the group, many people in the group wanted to focus on this question of support. I think it's fair to say that while we are starting to see a change in perspectives, that it's still really challenging for many people impacted by weight issues to access the right treatment, access support, and be able to feel confident when speaking up to advocate for themselves and others in their family. So as we round off the Obesity Collective session on World Obesity Day, I'd just like to reiterate our interest in working as partners alongside practitioners, researchers, and clinicians, and the power of supporting people with lived experience to find their voice, to share their stories, and for those stories and those voices to be heard and acted upon. So we're really looking forward to continue the conversation and changing perspectives. Thanks.